More of that. And yeah, so 3 versus 5 here for Faze as the bomb goes down on the B-bomb side. There is a flank coming in the likes of Karrigan. So to see, I believe that the rest of his teammates will wait until he can do something with the flank. Got Alu creeping in, and there is the frag. So now there's players that have to distract themselves with the flank, and that allows more space for players like Alu and Jakin to move up the yard to get the kills. But Crims is close with the Glock, and Dennis will take down Alu as well. So problems here for Karrigan. 1 versus 3. I'm not sure if there's a kit anywhere from Defiance. That's obviously one of the issues that he has, but he will just get taken down by Olfmeister in the end. So quick 1-0 there.
Yeah, that's why, I mean, pistol rounds are always a bit random, because if the CTs get a couple of crazy one-shots, that breaks the round for the Ts, and it always revolves around the same thing. The Ts want to get close range with the Glocks, want to swarm a certain area of the map and take control, while the CTs just want to get those long-range battles, pick out a couple of the Ts before they go for the retake and use their numbers and perhaps some utility to secure the round. So that's why always, even though you have a good setup in a pistol round, perhaps a couple of good headshots from your opponents can, you know, ruin that anyway. Speaking
of a couple of headshots to ruin things, maybe Rain will have a better day here because he's got himself 5-7. And in come all of Fnatic into that B-bomb site, just a straight up rush into B. I like this a lot as an anti-eco or anti-force buy. I think this is a smart round, and it's going to work out really well. How do you feel about it as an anti-force buy? Because I'm always like very happy with rounds like this. We just don't leave anything to chance.
Yeah, I definitely prefer when teams group up. I'm either for grouping up and, you know, just picking a bomb site, or treating it as a gun round and go for an execute with a lot of SMGs and a lot of utility. That's where you're the thing is, you need to realize the CTs, if they force, they don't have money for grenades, smokes, molotovs. They're gonna have deagles and Kevlar or a scout or a 5-7 and a smoke, and that's it. So that's what prevents you in gun rounds, is the utility that stops you from rushing and swarming a bomb site. So you just need to think about what is that hurts you the most. It's usually getting killed by a scout or tagged by a scout and finished off with a pistol. That's what happens when you spread around the map. So by grouping up together or using a lot of utility, you basically limit the chances of something like that happening.
There we go. That's a good explanation. I hope many people are listening because I feel like, you know, I'm always like beating a dead horse when we see suboptimal anti-eco rounds.
Is that a euphemism then?
No. Yes. No.
B, you obviously have a really good stack. If they go A, you can just save the guns and play for the next round. But it seems like Crane is going for info, and he gets extremely good timing on Disco Doppline, who was, I suppose, trying to fake B. So now you can see all of Faze is moving back towards the A side. That was really, really great timing for Rain.
He does find good timings on this map, as you said. And the 4 versus 4 makes things a bit different, but as Faze had to rotate, they sort of gave up the bomb site, so the positioning for them is not too good in this after plant, but they will start to make their way in. Olfmeister whipping a shot there. That's not a good start for him, as it goes to a 3 versus 2 now. Fnatic looking to hold things down. They've limited the way, or the passages for the CTs to approach the bomb site now. Jakin's the last man standing. He's been spotted as well. He will be able to win that battle, but he's getting low on health. And an after-plant situation like this should be nigh on impossible to actually win. And I think JKM immediately recognizes that. Unfortunately for him, there's no AWPs along the way for him to pick up, but it's going to be a pretty good round by Fnatic overall. I mean, and also, as you said, it was a nice decision from Faze to go for the gamble, but they still weren't able to win the round.
Yeah, sometimes it's, you know, the small things that end up, even though the call was good, still Fnatic coming into the bomb site, they get the good kills. Dennis had a really good round, and it's a problem, you know, you see Alu retaking and having to clear those close corners with the op. It can be really tricky.
Now, quick attempt through Pop Dog here from Fnatic to get, again, Fnatic get the first man advantage very, very soon into the round. How is Faze going to recover this time? Again, last time they went for a stack towards B and then got a little bit lucky, a little bit fortunate on some timing. What would you like to see FaZe do in this instance? Because Train is not the easiest map.
Yeah, that's the problem. There's only a number of things you can do. In theory, they can try and clear Ivy and get some info there. Or, again, B holes is something that you can flash in or have players double peek the higher ramp. But I think more than anything else, it's just picking a site, stacking it, going for the risk. And then if you lose the round, you can just save and go into a full gun round the next round.
Well, they have 2 to a bomb site. And the forward positions actually from FaZe on A is actually really nice because they've got a main on lockdown. And if there was a play back into Pop Dog into A, then they're going to be good to go. But it's going to be Rain and Alu able to defend really well. Look at Rain go with the spray there. That's beautiful stuff. And that's a 4 versus 2 now. This push has pretty much failed here from Fnatic. Dennis will be able to eventually trade Rain. I have no idea how he was able to survive for so long. And now Twist secures the bomb plant, but this will be very tough for Fnatic to win, and you can see why. Karrigan comes in from the back, and there's more players in the back to worry about. Dennis, which way does he look? It's an impossible spot to be in, and indeed, Fnatic are going to lose the round. FaZe get the defuse.
Yep, Rain on Train. He recently did have that crazy game where he had almost 30 kills in a half, something like that. It was CT side. Can't really remember what it was, but yeah, you can see there you need to have a flash. There needs to be some pop flash or something, because that position on pop, it's really strong, but it's obviously you're in the open, so it's easy to get flash there. So small mistake from Fnatic, as Alu gets a nice little aggressive peek on Olaf.
Ooh.
And Karrigan gets wrecked on the other side, of course.
Yeah, I almost was expecting him to get the kill there, but the pre-fire was very strong from Twist. Jacob has a nice position though by Hell. Almost a double on the spray down for him. 1 HP on Disco Dotplan. 1 HP. He will be finished off by AZ. And Fnatic are going to lose the round there in the chaos. Just too many men lost in the early stages of the push.
Yeah, I mean, going for the default, that's one of the ways you can, after you figure out how the Ts are going for that holes control, sending an upper aggressive early. If you see that they don't flash, they don't molly there, that's a way you can get the early pick. And I think his teammate also flashed for him. I'm not 100% sure. And after that, Fnatic just decides to react straight away. They lost map control. Okay, let's just try and go Ivy after they got the kill on Karrigan. But Jacob had a great hold.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's something you can't take for granted, is the skill of the FaZe players if you put them in these spots to deal with those aggressions. And already Ali's going to be able to pick off one of the ecoing players. Bit of can't speak, Anko. Good start to an 8-map day.
Only 7 maps left.
Only 7 maps. Well, basically 8 maps left. All right, I'm back. Just a formality this round. AZ wants to make some money. Okay. So Karrigan, MP9, blocking the MP9, making that cash as well. Oh, not much going on here. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. There is $1,500 in the bank for AZ. And
2,400 because he got a shotgun kill as well. 2 MP9 kills for Karrigan. They're making bank then.
They are. And that's super nice on the CT side of this map. Getting that economic security going.
It's interesting to see how many people will pick up the op on Fnatic. Today it's Disco Doppler. Yesterday it was a bit of Olaf, a bit of Twist, I think, as well. Guess it's similar to VP, whoever's feeling it, as FaZe go aggressive in team mid.
Yeah, this is a really cool play. Really, really early into the round. Setting up an aggressive position in A main. AZ.
This is a really powerful spot, not just because he's aggressive and can get early contact, but because he gets a lot of info because of the sound cues as well. Now they can also smoke it deep and buy really a lot of time and basically really diminish the power of any A split that comes in. Because splitting A without control of team mid, the players in ladder can get destroyed.
Yeah, it's often why you see Ts actually put players here early into the round to kind of prevent plays like this from the CTs. And I love how FaZe were abusing that, but...
Yeah, it's how the meta advances. Then you see teams like SK throwing the double molly. there in those two corners to flush a player out and regain control of that area.
Double molly, worth it.
Double peek as well.
Yeah, that's a very dead twist. Only one guy going down on Ali, and they haven't yet discovered where the rest of the push is coming in, but they must have put the pieces together now, as there's only 3 players left coming forwards from A main. Dennis takes down Ali from the train, but there's still a lot more where that came from, and he's lost all of his comrades. He's got to pick up the bomb as well. He's got 20 seconds to plant. Don't like his chances in this round, as Dennis looks for the remainder. But they won't peek until they hear the beeps of the bomb being planted. They don't have to.
8 seconds. This round is over. He's just going to save. Or at least try to.
Awkward spot. I like how he's kind of staying hidden in plain sight. And he will survive.
You see how this is why Fnatic was going for that brute forcing early on. They struggle when they have to split up and go for a default. Their players are getting picked off early. They are losing map control very early on. So actually what I'd like to see from them is next gun round, go for an early fake, like an early B fake, and then just explode with maybe 3 players out of either Ivy or team mid, something like that. Because after losing 2 rounds from a default, Faze will expect them to group up. Because that's the logical thing to do. So I think they can outplay them but by faking that. Or they can just win the round with Tech 9s then.
Happens. Happens to the best of us. Does it happen to you, Yanko?
Not really, no. I don't have those problems then.
You impervious to Tech 9 rushes.
Oh, you mean that? Oh, yeah, happens to me as well.
Yanko the impervious.
That's a complicated word.
If you were like a ruler of a country or something, your name should be Yanko the impervious, I think.
Well, who knows that? Last year, I was an observer. This year, an analyst. Next year, a dictator.
Yeah, could happen. Can buy an island with all the analyst money?
Not really.
No? Are you sure? What about a boat? Could buy a boat?
Boat would be nice. It's not like I would have any time to drive it, though. Sail it, whatever the...
yeah, sail it. Drive a boat sounds quite funny, but I guess it makes sense in some
You don't really sail
boats.
it if it has an engine.
Yeah, it feels like a motorboat. That makes sense. Going to drive my motorboat.
This is just a couple of really great shots from Twist. It seems like FaZe was caught off guard a little bit by the pace from Fnatic in that round. So, yeah, if they had time to throw down a couple of mollies, nades to do damage and slow Fnatic a little bit, it would have been much better.
Ooh, are we seeing some classic Olofmeister here? Just rushing in and just killing everyone. Everyone's dead. Olofmeister will get killed by Disco Dotplan though. So that's that's a little bit sad, isn't it? Poor Olofmeister. This is such a weird game because, again, it's like hard to put your finger on the pulse of it because they're just running in some spots. Like that round, Olofmeister just moves in. The rest of his team goes in as well off the back of his playmaking abilities.
Yeah, I mean, it's a high-risk, high-reward play. You put him out there, he gets a kill, great, then we can push out and overwhelm the bomb site. He even gets 2 kills. But if he dies, you just lost a man and didn't gain anything for it. No relevant information, nothing. So, sure, it looks great when it works, but it's a lot of it is riding on Olofmeister, obviously, in that round.
That's true. That's true. And I wonder if we'll see a return to the level that he had at one point, because obviously he's still a very good player.
I don't think he's skilled. His skill dropped off. That's what I just think that. The style of play, his style of play, like what we're seeing right now, it's dependent a lot on his teammates as well and on his team. Like in this round, for example, he only gets 2 kills, even the 1, but does a lot of work for his team. And seeing as how the old Fnatic was extremely skilled individually, they knew how to work off of each other in very loose situations, in many different scenarios, which is not easy to do on the fly. That's something that I don't think his teammates in the reshuffled Fnatic were able to do on the same level. So obviously makes, you know, if he goes out, gets that kill, but no one reacts, and then he just dies afterwards, he looks like a silly person doing something by himself, having fun. But if you actually know how to play around it, it creates loads of opportunities for your team. So by what we're seeing right now from Fnatic, it looks a little bit like the old one. And if that's the case, I don't think I think there's a good chance of us seeing some of his vintage performances again.
Vintage Olofmeister. Olofmeister. Boost
They're
Meister.
they're spraying around then against pistols.
It's definitely something I don't enjoy because it's one of those questions that you ask yourself.
I'm sorry to interrupt, but let's just look at this. Imagine Twist dies in this round. He just dies to the first guy. Just gets close range headshot level 5-7. That's plausible. They have no one else in IB. They have little to no control anywhere else. And now the cities have 2 rifles. And the time is ticking down, so they can make a good guess and rotate to a correct bomb site. Or they can just go for another push based on timing, because the T's have to move around fast. They lost map control, and that puts you in a position where you're forced to do things, and you never want to be. You want to be the one forcing the other team to react and not be the one on the back foot. So I don't think there was reason for him to push out that far by himself, unless the rest of his team was ready to just explode no matter what happens, and it didn't seem to me like they were at that time. Of course, he gets the 2 kills and they win the round nonetheless.
Yeah, I mean, you always have to ask yourself, what is the one way I can lose this round? Having players isolated and giving up guns. As
it's just risk reward, you know. But yeah,
I mean,
about your point.
yeah, and there's so many other ways to handle that. Yeah, I already don't like that. I was trying to ignore it. I've seen it too many times. But Dennis would be the one to go out and make the play in mid now. In the A yard. Ooh, and he's dead now. Dead now, of course. Just well, 3 players left. They start to make a play into the B bomb site to Fnatic as a reaction to losing Dennis in A. And so far, it's actually working out. They're able to get the frags back here. They're playing very simple Counter-Strike, but it is working out for them at the moment. Faze have to wait out the Molotovs, and that's really annoying because it buys a lot of time for Fnatic to reposition as in how they want to. AZ, Karrigan and JChem, can they pull this one off? They are now quite coordinated as they push forwards in the yard, but where are the players? There's the first one though. Twist goes down, and now we've got just Olofmeister in the clutch, but the time on the bomb, it's going to detonate very, very soon. Olofmeister, oh, AZ has the angle just in the nick of time there, and the bomb gets defused. That is a brutal round for Fnatic to lose right at the end, but they were lucky to bring it to that point in the first place.
That's what I was talking about before. Fnatic faking that they were going to group up early because they threw a lot of smokes on the outside. The small mistake, in my opinion, is when you're faking, you don't want Dennis to be sneaking around. You want him to try and make noise, try and make something happen. Gets 1 kill, brilliant. He did his job, he can die, no one cares. And then they explode onto B, but they didn't even pop flash B, which Rain was again on pop dog. Gets 1 kill, still Fnatic gets into the bomb site, but in the 3v3, they don't... I mean, Faze just got the kills. Fnatic played a bit too individually in that after plan.
And that's why, yeah, that's something that I hope to see that they'll evolve and get tighter as a unit.
I mean, still early days, obviously.
Yeah. But it's also one of the reasons why we love Fnatic is because of their ability to make individual plays. And as long as it doesn't stay like that forever, and it just becomes a facet of their play and not just the single feature of it, then it will be fine. So Faze rocking the double ops here, and they really need these remaining rounds because Fnatic are starting to. It feels like Fnatic are starting to run away with it a little bit. And the push comes in from Ali now. Jacob's quite close. He's got support from AZ by the help position as well. Peek comes in, nice off angle onto Twist, and now Disco Dotplan goes for the trade. The pop flash comes out, but the trade was just there straight away from Disco Dotplan, and that leads us in a 3 versus 4 now. Olofmeister starts to peek in from A main to make the play. Everyone else is in position. Olof needs to be the guy that opens things up here. Looking for the next player. Disco Dotplan making some noise, trying to make Olofmeister's life a little bit easier, and he gets the first kill with the Glock. Second one comes in now on the bomb train. Lovely stuff there from Olofmeister. It's going to be Alu and Rain now to try to save this round as Faze bring themselves onto the rotation as the bomb is planted, and Dennis will deal with Rain, leaving just the Finnish superstar. Alu does have the AWP, but a 1 versus 3 after plant on A on train is one of my darkest nightmares. Olofmeister will finish him off. 3 kills for Olofmeister in this round. Nicely done. And again, as you said, Olofmeister was only able to make some of those kills by merit of his teammates and what they were doing and the distraction they were creating.
Just all of things. I'm going to walk up on the train and pull out a Glock and kill Kerrigan. I'm not sure if this is because Kerrigan was known before in TSM and Astralis to play around exactly this sandwich area between the two trains, and he was very proficient at it. So I don't know if it's just all of saying, oh yeah, this is where Kerrigan always plays, I'm just going to kill him in the head with a Glock. But yeah, that really shouldn't happen. I mean, him getting to that position without being spotted. So that was a mistake from Faze, miscommunication there.
It's good. Mistakes are good, Janko.
They're not, Dan. I hate mistakes.
Mistakes are what separate the good from the best.
It's funny because my life is just a string of mistakes.
Yeah. Same for me. Janko made many mistakes. Now after that,
Dennis made a mistake. Dennis made a mistake.
Reflection.
Dennis made a great mistake then. He went by himself, close range, got his head blown out by a 5-7. Best pistol in the game.
Poor Dennis. Dennis the Menace. Well, he's got the rest of Fnatic to save him, to bail him out of this one as they move through Ali. But I don't know about this because we've got the 5-7s at play. Wow, the timing there, like the way that both Twist and Disco Doppler, they're both looking in the perfect spot at the perfect time. That's not going to happen like that every scenario that you run. Every time you run that scenario, rather. As we have Crims looking to make his way in through A main now, and Ali's just working with the rifle now, finally. Getting some work with that AK. Ali is a very proficient rifler, not just the AWPer, but he is not going to be able to deal with Olafmeister.
He's got this. I'm calling it down.
You're calling it?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
He's just going to get killed
Did he
by Jacob.
In midair, in the face, behind the smoke?
Yeah. I mean,
why not?
He was flying down, so...
That's really random. I love it. So yeah, you can see, I mean, a round which should not really have come to this point. Ooh.
All right.
As you do. I can do that.
You
I can do that.
Yeah,
not in this game.
Anyone can luck out, so it's fine.
So pistol round now on the second half, and Faze managed to scrounge together 7 rounds in the end. And Dennis in a great position there, able to use his CZ to great effect.
You gotta love that play, don't you? Just gonna buy a CZ and a smoke, run through it, and just push B.
That's the play. It's a play. So it worked out pretty well.
It's the Stewie special.
The Stewie special. Bomb will go down on the A bomb sites. That's brilliant for Faze. Even if they lose a round, they're going to be happy that they can get AKs out really soon. And okay, that's probably what they are counting on now because it's just Ali in the 1 versus 4.
It's not really the way you get into a pistol round then. Let's just plant the bomb. We'll have AKs in the 3rd round. You're kind of hoping for more when you start running from spawn. Kind of hoping we might win this round. And then we play with the AKs anyway in the 2nd round.
Just see that security. Security AKs. Ruin their economy on the 3rd round. It's all part of the plan. Because it is actually one of those like really interesting. It's always very interesting to me what the Ts decide to do in this situation on that 3rd round, because even though we actually have a force buy here from Faze, to finish the point quickly, you have the advantage with the AKs because usually the CTs are still on SMGs and so on, so you actually have a lot of advantages to play with, even though you're losing the rounds. So in that specific case, but will this buy work out here for the Faze side? They're all going to get wrecked, completely destroyed.
Absolutely.
Okay, it was just a half buy. Okay, didn't buy fully.
Yeah, it seems like they're going for 2 half buys.
That's
pretty much.
That's kind of weird because they got the bomb down. Wouldn't you want to just go for the save in AKs or just the full force?
Maybe they're feeling that they want the op on Alu and that they need their utility in order to win a round. Maybe they feel that their T side is strong enough. They can win 9 rounds on T, even without pistol, but with a proper buy.
I guess that must be it. Perhaps Kerrigan has something lined up for Fnatic. We shall see. Right now it's Faze that's lining up to be shot in the face by Fnatic, but AZ is always causing some problems. Gets a couple kills with the Deagle, which would be some nice damage. But other than that, there's not much else going for Faze at the moment. But finally, they do get onto their buy-in. As you say, Ali can bring out the AWP, and they'll have a lot of utility.
Looks like they want to go for an execute early or at some point because Alu decided to buy a smoke and a flash instead of head armor, and seeing how you're playing with against M4s, Core one shot, one kill in the head, as we have the op duel here. Who will get the upper hand then?
Looks like it's Alu, and then it's for Doppler, and then AZ. AZ has the biggest hands. Now, it's going to be time for the 2 versus 4.
Fair enough. Biggest hands.
We were going there already. That brings you back to one of our finals. And Thorin had some interesting comments about big hands. Anyway.
Oh, okay.
Crimson Olafmeister, so the old duo. The duo.
Back at it again.
Yeah.
Not really. Don't think they can salvage this round, though.
Yeah, I don't think so either. It's pretty tough, isn't it?
The key word to use in situations like these, Dan, is surely. Surely they can't win this round. That's when it happens. Okay. That's the magic word.
Okay, surely
that's
they
the
can't
jinx word.
win this round. They're on the opposite side of the map, and the bomb's about to be planted. Definitely going for the save. It would well, okay, so they're not going to try, so it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. So 11-7 is the score, soon to be 11-8. And Faze are bringing themselves back in this one. And as you can see on the scoreboard, it's pretty fun to see that Olafmeister's actually fragging. Because I feel like it has been a while since I saw him be a bit more dominant on the scoreboard. It's been a while.
True. Maybe he's just more comfortable in this team, has more faith, and being back with his buddy Crims as well. Yeah,
that's probably quite true. I mean, as you said, the old LGB dudes mostly, and they always seem to have good chemistry. So
it's always interesting to see the approach from CTs after they win pistol in the first gun round, with aggression. Obviously, Fnatic going for that aggression towards Ivy. On one hand, going for aggression straight away, maybe you catch them off guard. If you win that round, you're basically 5-0 up on the CT side, which is extremely good. But on the other hand, you're making the play. You aren't waiting to see what the T is having stored. What are they going to go for? You're going for blind aggression without knowing what their default is going to look like even. So there's pros and cons to it. In the end, it all comes down to preference of the team or the in-game leader as well.
Yeah, I actually, I don't know if I have time to make this point.
Try.
But
talk faster, Dan.
Especially in like the Quake Duel days, my approach was always to play very standard and passively right at the start of the game, even if I had control, just to see the kinds of plays my opponent wanted to make, so I could get a better read as to like the mindset, the mood, and what will be safe or what would be the correct risks for me. And instead of just, as you say, like blindly going for it, you set the feelers out first. You play standard, you don't take risks to see if they play the same, and then you put yourself in a spot. Who has to make the play? And then you figure it out.
Faze is making a play down with smokes.
They are definitely making a play. There are definitely smokes. But Twist is close with the AWP. In that spot that you're talking about with Carrigan previously, Crims gets one frag, but still the T's are swarming the bomb site. Actually, Jacob's all the way on the site. Nice shot from Twist. That's fantastic work. Now that could make the difference here as Disco Doppler gets a quick kill onto AZ, and things become problematic more than that because Carrigan has no friends and 16 HP.
Truly the difference maker in that round then. It's not just the fact that he gets 2 insane quick scopes, it's the fact that the position where he's in, right? After he gets that first kill, it forces the other players who are already forward towards the site, already took forward positions and they got control of the bomb site. It forces them to worry about him. I mean, obviously Jacob turns straight away, but dies, and from what was a good round for FaZe, Twist basically completely turns it around with those 2 amazing kills.
He also showed something from a mechanics standpoint, which I like to highlight every so often. I haven't done it in a long time. But I feel like whenever you're creating a setup for how you're going to have, how you're going to choose to, like, the sensitivity, how you're going to have your posture and your mousing and all of that, you need to always be able to do a clean 180 and have your mouse reset with like a mouse lift so that you can do plays like that. So you can accurately shoot someone and then instantly snap into 180 and then have your mouse completely reset to make a clean shot straight away. And that's exactly what we saw from Twist there. Gave himself so much time to make that quick scope there. So 12-8 is the scoreline. I thought that FaZe was going to start to run away with it, but Fnatic, just with the individual plays, as we know them for, bringing themselves back into this one. And they've got economic superiority. I mean, in this spot, do FaZe want to worry about the economy of Fnatic or their own economy?
A bit of both. That's the problem, because as I assume Dennis and Fnatic are just going to clean up this round. The problem is if you're FaZe now, or if you're Fnatic, let's say, even if you're going to lose a round, you want to get as many kills as possible, because if Faze wins a round but has to, you know, drop for a lot of players have to rebuy, they're again not going to have an optimal buy. So Fnatic in that situation, obviously having a lot of bank, they can just reset them, and Faze is in an even worse situation than before. Look at their money after all of this. Everyone spent everything except Kerrigan, who has 850, and he has a Tech 9.
The money sucks. Back to you.
Yeah, so that's always something you need to take into account. That's why it's so important to win consecutive rounds.
Oh, AZ with that push. And not just AZ with the push, Fnatic with a very aggressive position there as well, Nally. And something that you might ask questions about. We'll go back to that later, I guess, because we have a push coming into the A-bomb site. Crim's there to defend after Dennis goes down, and Olofmeister. This is looking really bad right now. All the one-on-ones being won here by the FaZe clan. Now it's just Twist with the AWP. He's done great stuff so far. Shirley, stop calling me Shirley. Twist with the pop flash. Oh, it's a great play. Oh my goodness, so fast, but he's down to 5 HP. Surely he's not going to do this now, Yanko.
Yeah, seems like he's going for the save.
Yeah, he's sensible.
I mean, what you need to differentiate here is the difference between calls and execution. The call from Fnatic was actually good when you look at it. Only one player in Ivy, they sent 2 players to double team him, but the execution was a bit lacking because that player from T-side, AZ, he got a duel instead of facing 2 players at the same time. So that's something you don't really want to happen if you want to go for an aggressive push. And that gives them the early advantage, and Rain is able to get 2 kills after that on the outer bomb site and secure the round.
And it kind of felt like this round as well, with the money that FaZe had and all that, and the kind of round score we see for Fnatic and their money. This was like the round that basically decides or tells us if it's going to be a close finishing score or not. And I think it's going to be a close finishing score now, because FaZe have the ability to start to crush Fnatic's economy. We can see they've got an amazing buy themselves. Ali's on the AWP, although he's been smoked off. He's been smoked off. Poor Ali. Nothing there for him to do. Ooh, oh, is there a boost to be had here? Let's look over the smoke. It looks like there. Oh, looks like there was, and Olofmeister's a man to fall. It's hard times here now because we got both Dotplan and Twist on the AWPs, and they've got to start. They've lost some rifle support in Olofmeister. But that said, Twist has been amazing in these spots where he's got no support, so perhaps it's better this way. So looks like FaZe has set up the push now. They've got the coordination going in. There's the first play, the first pick, the first kill. Plant should be able to come in pretty soon here. Disco Dotplan will be dealt with. And Twist is in a position where he can't really stop the plant from going down. Dennis is coming in from Pop Dog. He's going to get taken out by Alu. I mean, there's no distraction for him. It's an obvious play, and there's just nothing Twist can do from this stage forward. So, indeed, FaZe have won the round they needed to win.
Yep, and it was from basically a default yet again, Olof getting a bit caught off guard with that boost. And sure, Fnatic did have a strong bag, but right now I don't think they will have enough money to rebuy. I think they will have to eco, so this was a big round for both teams. Yeah, and moving into, okay, they will have enough money after this for ops as well, so they should be fine for the next round, but now FaZe is pretty comfortable. They have all the grenades, so they can go for whatever they feel like is the best move. I think that for them, it probably should be changing the pace a little bit, speeding things up, perhaps with an early B hit or a fast A fake into a B hit.
Fnatic will win this round. That's my prediction.
Did you hear that from production, or?
No, that's my prediction.
Because I laid out everything like logically, and you think they're just going to win with pistols.
Yeah, because sometimes logic doesn't matter. Like Yanko.
Sometimes, most of the times.
Most of the time, especially if you're playing matchmaking, you'll truly understand that sentiment. Logic does not matter.
Who plays matchmaking? I only play Faceit.
I don't play matchmaking. Not anymore.
You too can play Faceit if you register on Faceit.com.
Do it.
128x servers, ladders, leagues, tournaments with prize money and prizes.
You better do it, or we'll send Yanko to your house with a sledgehammer.
Not my weapon of choice, but moving swiftly on.
So right now, my prediction of of lack of logic winning. It's not going so well so far. Already one player dead here for the CTs.
Nice
and
effort, though.
They're all going down. I was just preparing myself. I was just mentally preparing myself for something that should never happen, so that I would be less tilted if it should happen.
Great way of looking at things then.
Yeah. Always looking for the worst possible thing. It's nice.
Never disappointed.
If your expectations are really low, that's the best way to go into a movie theater. Just always just expect it to be terrible, whatever it is.
Some other things as well.
Yeah, exactly. Yes. Right, so 13-11, and now Fnatic are starting to worry because their money's been broken. They're back onto a bye finally, but this is the round where FaZe could take control. They could actually bring themselves to a tight game, more or less. And as far as aggressions, this time around, Fnatic aren't really liking the idea of any aggressions. Their setup looks pretty standard. Alu actually gets tagged there by what I can imagine was probably by Twist. Probably got legged. And now Twist will kill Rain. So Twist is being a bit of a pain. Bit of a thorn in the side. And this is kind of awkward now at this point because FaZe, they're going to have to just go in at this point. They can't afford to lose another man before actually having map control of some kind. Or some more space on the map to work with. And I have a bad feeling that Ali's going to die.
They seem perfectly satisfied to just hold and wait for Alu to get a pick, but Twist really seems on point so far. Okay, Dennis, 5v4, just 3.
Yeah, looking for the flank, looking for the cheeky flank, gets a bit of info, gets a bit of damage, gets away scot-free, of course.
The thing is it really worth the risk? What if someone's just waiting for you, holding, and you die, but more action coming his way, it seems?
Yeah, and he's got help to deal with this as well, even though he'll end up going down. It's just going to be JKM left, and I agree with you completely. If you're in a 5 versus 4 like that, you have to they're forced to make the play.
It just seems like a risky play for no reason. I'm not sure. It looked to me from here that there was no info he could have had to make that push, you know, viable, at least in my opinion. But maybe he did get something on the comms, thinking that it was a good call.
Nice that you threw him under the bus and pulled him out in front of the bus.
Well, need to be able to do both then.
Yep, it's true.
And there's the greed. Wanting the rifle.
There's the bomb as well, Yanko.
Yeah, that's an interesting thought process. He kills the C4, the bomb carrier, and then shouldn't he expect someone else to be there and not run for the rifle, instead wait around or fall back with the Max 7? But yeah, it is online CS in the end. No reason to be too hard on players, I guess.
This is their time to relax after traveling for 939 hours.
Well, only Fnatic's case, not traveling but bailing.
That's a good point. All right, so the push comes into... Oh yes, the candy apple. James has a Nova shotgun.
Of course he does.
Don't know why though. I asked him why.
To shoot...
Yeah, that's what he said. To shoot clay pigeons, he said. Yeah. But I don't believe him.
What do you think?
He shoots it at all. I bet it's just there on his wall.
Really?
Decoration. He's not here to defend himself, Yanko. It's amazing. So 2 AWPs.
The one time.
Yeah. 2 AWPs here for Fnatic, but look at the utility. They are really strapped for the utility. Now, what do you like a CT side to do in spots where they have like really low utility but like good guns?
Go aggressive, but calculated aggression, and maybe towards the B bomb site with that flash like SK, like Fallen does, and tackle flashes for him. Ivy, they already tried a lot of times and it didn't work. Or that's just what I was going to say, Dan. Team it.
Yeah, and the funny thing about that as well is that it looks like it's amazing, Olofmeister can get that pick, but there is a lot of luck to it as well. Obviously, there can be an AWPer who can be looking. He could be looking at that angle, or he could be looking at some other angle. It's all about the timing. So
the problem I have with T's in team mid with an AWP, there are low and high angles you need to look out for. A player can peek you low, or he can peek you from a train. So, and relying on you hitting that flick, if you're looking down and he peeks up, that's a lot of confidence if you think you're going to make that shot more often than not.
Indeed, you're an AWPer. You like a good AWP.
Yeah.
Would
Love
you,
myself a good AWP.
Would you be confident to make those plays?
I wouldn't go for it because it's, I mean, too risky for no reason. You can do something else, be more useful, which is safer. But yeah.
Speaking of safety, Faze running in with no helmets, no safety gear at all, no reflective jackets, and that's going to be them all dead. Just losing all the one-on-ones there. Pretty just dry peaks all over the place across the map. And that's going to be the end of them for that round. Fnatic now back into winning ways, 15-13 for them.
Yeah, this is where they close it out, Dan. I have a feeling.
You got that feeling?
Yeah.
I agree with you.
I mean, it's either that or overtime, so pretty much.
Yeah, full utility, full weapons for both teams, so anything can happen in this round. Especially with the way both teams have been playing, it's impossible to predict really, as so much of it comes down to individual play. Rain's going to be charging through the upper B area now, looking for the frag onto Dennis, but Dennis is just hiding, which is a great play to make, forcing Rain into a deeper angle, and Rain will surely get traded, and he will eventually get traded. It's 3 frags for Fnatic. Faze have yet to plant the bomb. They're looking for frags still. It's going to take something pretty ridiculous at this point. Karen going in alone. He will be finished off by Mr. Olofmeister, who will finish with 28 kills. A good first half from him. But the second half was not quite as nice for Olofmeister. He only got 8 frags, I believe, in the second half.
They still won, Dan. That's all that matters. Why do you care about stats so much?
That's true. That's very true. That's very true. I apologize, Janko, for caring about stats. So do you have any points to add about that game before we go to a quick break?
It was really close, even though Fnatic won both pistols. I think that's one of the talking